In this video, I'm going to show you guys an account that I'm currently working on for a client. We have not started the campaign yet, but we're going to start it shortly. It is for water damage restoration, and I'm just going to show you guys the thinking behind how I got this account set up and how we're going to launch. And yeah, hopefully you guys can get some information and some education out of it. So first of all, we'll start right off with the budget, right? $60 a day is what we're gonna start. Now we've seen top of page clicks up to $200 per click, right? So $60 a day, Google could potentially, do the $200 click, which would obviously, if my budget was say 2,000 a month, then that would obviously take a good portion of my budget, but most likely Google's not going to do that. There's also keywords in there that, the top of page bid on the high side is like $45, $60. So we're trying to see, in the very beginning, we're just trying to prove, we're trying to prove performance, that it's going to even perform in the first place. So we'll go over here. Now these are my keywords. Let's check these out. So for the keywords, we're keeping it very tight. We don't want to go too broad. So everything here is exact match. I do have a phrase match as well, but I believe it's only one phrase match. Let's verify that. Yes, one phrase match, which is emergency water damage Houston. So obviously this is a company in Houston, and we're targeting water damage restoration, and this is for an emergency. So as a matter of fact, flood cleanup Houston is not something I want to be there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove that keyword. So the reason why we're starting so tight, with the budget and with the keywords, is because we just want to prove that it's going to work in general, and that the landing page tracking is firing, the phone calls are being tracked, that they're coming through cleanly, that people are able to click on the ad, that we're getting impressions, at least be able to prove that our ad can show, and that all the tracking in the visitor journey is done correctly. And once we know that, that's when we'll start scaling up with the spend indefinitely. And then also, looking at things like the negative keywords. Now, right now, we do have a healthy list of negative keywords. It's 88, I believe. Yes, 88 negative keywords. Things like blog, calculator, career, because we're trying to be, again, very tight here. I might actually delete some of these as we go, depending on the performance. So we did start with 2 ads. Sometimes I would even start with 1 ad. But in this case, we did start with 2 ads, which is not a problem. You know, it's okay to start with 2 ads. The reason why I started with 2 in this specific case is because one of them is more giving trust signals, like for example, insured professionals using proven methods, professional equipment, licensed and insured. We got the brand name on this one. And then up here is more for emergency, right? So 24/7 emergency water damage support, fast response, stop damage. So it creates more urgency. So we have one for trust, one for urgency, which makes sense, right? We'll see which one is performing better. And then as I create new ads and maybe even, another landing page for the same intent, we'll lean one way or the other, either towards trust or towards emergency. So that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on starting small, starting tight, and then, you know, you want to direct the spend and direct your landing page copy and your intent in the way that you're writing your headlines and your descriptions and your ads towards what's working, right? So let Google kind of be your guide, because there's no right way to run ads. There's best practices and there's no wrong way to run ads either. There's things that are gonna indefinitely screw you up, but like there's no right or wrong way. So the way I like to do it is start tight, let Google teach me, and then go with the way Google's teaching me, because Google is your best teacher. I mean, you think about it, how do you win? You win by following the teacher. You're in the classroom, so follow the teacher. for a corny analogy there for you. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, give you guys a little inside look of a client that I'm helping here, and I hope that something I said in this video was helpful. I'm new to videos, so I'm sure I sound pretty weird and corny, but that's okay with me because you got to start somewhere. All right, guys, thanks for watching.